take the 76 through 8 backrest off. There's two Phillips screws that hold the seat back on, and as you can see, it slides forward, and there's two brackets on the inside of the seat back that hold it on. Okay, we take out the stoppers. It's a good idea to you know, do this installation in a warm area, because the colder it is, the harder the job is to do. The vinyl and the leather gets stiff with the temperature change. Okay, this is the this is the bracket that holds the material around the release button. Now you notice he's taking the hog rings out, and he's not cutting them. He's not expending a lot of energy. Just twisting them. They twist off real nice and easy. The hog rings are holding on the cover by way of the wires, the installation wires that are inserted into the listing. Okay, we're going to reinstall this cover, so we're not going to rip it off. That's those are 1/4 inch studs that he's pulling off, and he's got a 1/4 inch nut driver, and that makes it fast. Okay, now I think he goes to 1/2 inch. Seven sixteenths, okay. 7/16. Put that on the nut driver, and hopefully it's not rusty or frozen on there. Usually they're pretty good shape, unless they've been sitting out in the rain for 3 or 4 years. Okay, so that whole unit comes right out, and okay, he's got a 3/8, which you might want to come on in here so you can see this. Right down in this bolt right here, or this nut, holds the chrome on, and there's 3 of them. Is it 3 or 4? 3.
3.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now he's taking the wires out that are on the back side of the foam, and that's what gives the seat cover its 3-dimensional look. There again, he's just twisting the hog rings. Don't have to expend a lot of energy. Okay, he's pulling the wires out rather than messing around with cutting the clips and everything else. Okay, rolling the material back, being careful that you don't rip it in this area. She's gonna, I don't know if this is, okay, we're actually going to use the same foam over, but he's taking it apart to show you again how that piece is glued on. That gives you a good idea what's inside there. The studs for holding the release button, and then the holes that go all the way through that hold the seat back bracket on. I don't know, Gilbert, maybe you ought to, want to take it off? Yeah, I might as well. Now this cover here we had put on a few days ago. Okay, get it. Okay, okay, he's taking the wires out of the cover so you can see how the wires are reinstalled into the listing. Okay, he's taking the clips off. Now normally if this was an old cover, these clips would be all rusted, and the clips that come in the installation kit, which is this kit right here, has all the wires and all the clips in it. But we're going to reuse these clips. So I've going to show them a piece of foam the way that the customer would receive it. That's spring wire, so it's kind of hard to cut. Okay, so we've taken the cover. The cover's ready for installation, and I just wanted to show you the foam that you would be getting. And what Gilbert has already done here is he's cut out the center section because of the bracket that's got to go in there. So Put that right over here. Okay, he's going to be installing the installation wires, and as you can see, they're bent over on one edge, so he's squeezing it a little bit tighter so it'll fit through the listing. And you've got 3 listing wires on a seat back. Okay, that long one goes on the outside, huh? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Getting in the right size. As in the 76 to 78 backrests and seat cushion, we use the latex rubber in this pleated area, which is a lot better than polyurethane foam and gives it more resiliency and a better look when it's installed. Okay, on the seat back in your installation kit, these are the smallest seat back clips, and they're all the same size on the seat back. So unlike the seat cushion, it has 4 different sizes. You just pull them through there and twist them. You might want to take a look at one of those clips so you can see. I don't know if you can get them over there. Yeah, that's fine. Now these are already marked, but when we lay it on the foam, we'll show you how we got these marks. Okay. So the seat cover has got all the listing wires installed, all the correct clips. You want to show them how you got those marks, Gilbert, on the foam? Those were, like, it punched a screwdriver or some other sharp object through the hole that are lined up in the back of the foam, and then that left a hole on this side of the groove, and then when he laid the cover on, making sure that, which one of the grooves are you using? That one? Yeah, okay. When he laid the cover on, then he put a a black magic marker on the foam. Now, it's probably better to use a pencil on that because the black magic marker, if you get it on the back of the vinyl, it'll bleed through, and you know, 6 months later you'll end up with a black mark. It doesn't show on black, but if you had red seats or blue seats, you'd be very disappointed at what would happen, so it'd be better to use a lead pencil. Okay, this is the tool that we talked about yesterday that we make, and it's available from us, and it pulls the clip through and attaches it onto the wire on the back of the foam. Pull it through and twist, and okay, now it's ready for the other side. We'll be doing the same thing. 5 more clips. So you got a total of 13 clips on the backrest. Frame, and we're going to re-glue it. But before he glues it, he's going to take the wires and attach them to the zigzag springs. If any of the zigzag springs are broken, we have those available at our place. Just call us up and we'll ship them out to you. We have them in stock. We have the carpeting, we have the door panels for these years, all in stock, made right here in our factory. Okay, you see that the foam got ripped there, but that's not a problem. You just put a little bit of glue on it, and this glue is a contact cement, and it's excellent for this purpose. What's amazing about upholstery is that it can look kind of raunchy on the inside, but when it's finished, it sure looks beautiful. Let it set up for a little bit till it gets tacky. While he's letting that set up, okay, while we're letting that glue set up, this is a set of our gray door panels, deluxe, you know, with all the chrome on them. 76, smoke gray it's called, and we have all the door panels available, all the carpeting, and ready to go out when either from us or from over 400 dealers. Okay. All right. Well, the glue is set up. We let it set up about 5 minutes, so that when we put it together, it's gonna grab real good, because we're going to be pulling the material over the edges, and we don't want the foam to come apart on us. Then we'll have to take it apart and do it again. Okay, now this gives most people the problem here. Now we have to watch this area in the center, and he holds it with one hand while he's pulling the other. There you go. Have to watch that corner there, because the material is easily ripped, especially when we have a cover that's not been installed. We have a piece of material that's sewn there to keep it, to help stop it from ripping in that area. Now if you notice, he's holding that with his thumb, and that's keeping in mind that that material is very fragile in that area, since it has to be pulled over. Now this is the area that gives people the most problem, is getting it over the top of the seat. Now if you notice, he's pulling with his hands, and he's got a special problem here, because he's reinstalling the seat cover, and the material has already been cut out around the bezel area. So he's got to be extra careful that he doesn't rip it. But this takes patience. You know, you just can't, as you can see, you just can't throw these seat covers on. Now a lot of trim shops, as I mentioned on the 76 and 77, they won't even bother to put in the wires or put in the clips. And of course, if they don't put in the wires and clips, then the seat is just going to be a total mess. He's going to be putting this piece of chrome in, and the holes are already in the material, and then that's where those pins go in. So okay, now this takes, you have to push it with your hand, make sure that it goes through the bottom, and he's holding it with his left hand and tightening it up, keeping the pressure on it. You put the center one on, turns it over and tightens it up. There's the okay, now he's putting on the sides. Aha! Putting the screwdriver handle or nut driver handle underneath, pushing down to forcing the, I don't know if you can see that in there or not, forcing in the pin right there. Okay. Be careful not to strip it. Okay, putting the screwdriver handle or nut driver handle on the other side. There you can see in there pretty good. Now, if this seems like it's too easy, Gilbert has installed thousands of these seat covers, so just because it looks easy, you're going to have to have some perseverance when you're putting this on, because you're not familiar with working the materials, but this will give you a good basic understanding of how the covers go on. Okay, like I said, this is a 1/4-inch nut driver, so he's putting the mechanism back on the backrest. Okay, and these are 1/2 inch, right?
Yeah, no, 7/16.
7/16. Okay. Okay, we're tightening those up. Now he's going to put the listing wire in. Moving the material up over the foam. When he does that, he's actually pulling the material, sliding it over the foam. And that's how you move material over foam, just a little bit at a time. You just can't pull it. Now this little slit has already been cut in there. We do not cut it, but when you pull this, when you're doing what Gilbert's doing now, you pull it and you hog ring it, and then you cut the material right here, and then you pull it up and slide it up under. But you don't cut it before you've got it hog ringed. We don't cut those because there's a chance you might be ripped. So we okay, you saw how the two pieces of plastic went together, and then hog ring the end. Now the bezel, and the bezel actually holds the material and holds this whole area. Even though the material is cut real close here, once those two screws are tightened down, then this area of the bezel is actually going to hold the material. It actually holds the material all the way around. He's just putting him in semi-tight, and then he's going to pull the material up a little bit further so we can lock it into place. Now, notice how he's pulled that up with his fingers. And it's designed in such a way that it just holds the material.
Recording.
Okay. Okay, we've finished this area up, and look at how beautiful it fits. And now he's putting the listing wires on the side. And the reason why they use wires instead of just hog ringing, it makes a uniform pull on the material. So if you just took hog rings, and it would rip. This way you can get a lot of tremendous amount of pull and pressure. And you'd think that the vinyl would rip, but it's really very strong. Putting the wire in the bottom pull, and notice how these are not tightened, and they won't be tightened until we pull the bottom pull over. Excuse me. Now, see this little area right here where the material is not laying down flat. Now, when you see that on a seat, you know that somebody didn't take the time to straighten out the flap and put it down. Gilbert will move that with his fingers and make sure that the material is laying all in one direction. And that's what makes a real sloppy job when you don't take the time to lay the flap down. Now you notice when he's hog ringing, he's pulling down at the same time. This backrest is exactly the same as the 76 through 78, except for that little piece of metal. And what he did here is he made a hog ring and made it into a clip. Maybe on the other side, Gilbert, you could make one. Okay. Okay, that little piece of material ripped there because this is the second time it's been installed, but that's not a problem. We'll be able to cover that up, and it won't make a bit of difference. That's the one thing about a professional. He's got to be able to cover his mistakes professionally. Now he's going to make a clip. Can you see that? Let's see if you can see it real close, how he makes that clip. Takes a hog ring, bends one end over. Okay, flans it out, bends the other end down, like so, and then it goes into that. Can you see where it's going in? And hooks into that slot. Now we're doing the bottom flap, and we're pulling it up with our hog ring pliers. And as I mentioned when we were doing the 76 to 8 back, the hog ring pliers are the professional type, and you can't buy them in the hardware. And they'll last forever, really. They're really, you can use them for other things too. I use them for fencing, chicken wire, all kinds of things. Okay, he's tightening up those 1/4-inch bolts. Putting in the adjustable stoppers. Now these holes are already in there. Show them how you do that hole, Gilbert, with just take the Phillips screwdriver, find the hole, twist it a few times, and you know, feel it with your finger, and then that's how you make that hole in there so nice. Okay. And we'll put the seat back on. Take a look at those brackets where you're lining up, and then you push down. And slide it. Okay. Now remember, we had ripped that, but the screw in the backrest is going to hold the material anyway, so no one will ever know the difference except for us. Okay, using the awl to line it up. The reason why this seat looks so good, okay, besides the fact that the installation is the best available, the materials that we use are expanded vinyls with a very heavy skin on them, and they're thick. They're anywhere from 40 to 42 ounces of material. So because the material is thick, it stretches around the foam and doesn't seem like cardboard, like the cheaper materials that you buy from Colombia and Taiwan they're like cardboard. They just don't look right when you install them. And the foam that we use inside the pleats, if you'll notice how firm they look, and you can feel that there's some body behind them. Most of the companies use polyurethane, and it just doesn't look as good. And our seat covers weigh anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds more than our competitors. And the reason they weigh more is because there's more material in them. So I hope that this is going to be helpful to you as far as getting your Corvette restored,